Here are some of the most terrifying mythical creatures ever recorded in forgotten legends. Part 1. Deep in the untouched forests of northern Romania. There are regions where modern maps fade out and even experienced hunters refuse to go after sunset. Locals speak of a being called the Morvath, a creature that was once human but became something completely inhuman after attempting forbidden rituals. Centuries ago, it is said he was a healer obsessed with cheating death who performed experiments beneath an abandoned monastery hidden under the mountains. The ritual did not kill him. Instead, it transformed him into something that exists between life and death. The Morvath is described as extremely tall, with unnaturally long limbs, pale stretched skin, and faint amber glowing eyes that pierce through fog and darkness. It does not attack immediately. Instead, it studies its victims for hours or even days, always staying just outside of sight. Travelers report hearing voices deep in the forest, calling their names perfectly, imitating loved ones. Sometimes a parent, sometimes a close friend, or even a child crying for help. The more a person follows these voices, the more reality begins to distort. Paths start looping, trees appear in places they should not exist, and every direction slowly leads back to the same point. Victims often realize too late that they have been walking in circles for hours or even an entire night. By the time exhaustion sets in, the Morvath is already close and escape becomes impossible. It is said to feed not on flesh, but on fear, confusion, and mental collapse, growing stronger the longer a victim remains lost in its territory. Far across the deserts of Morocco, travelers still speak of something called the Sahrik, a creature that appears only during violent sandstorms when visibility drops to almost zero and the world becomes nothing but wind and dust. The Sahrik is said to be formed directly from the desert itself. Stone, sand, and heat fused into a living, shifting mass. Its body constantly breaks apart and reforms as if the desert itself is trying to take shape. It has no real face, only two deep void-like eyes that absorb all light around it. Unlike normal predators, the Sahrik does not chase or attack directly. Instead, it manipulates perception, creating perfect illusions of safety. Lost travelers see distant camps, glowing fires, and hear voices of other wanderers calling for help. These mirages feel completely real, and many follow them. Believing rescue is close, but every step only leads deeper into the storm, where orientation becomes impossible. The desert begins to feel endless. Landmarks disappear, and even time loses meaning. Nomadic tribes believe the Sahrik feeds on hope and exhaustion. Once someone believes in its illusions, they will walk until their body can no longer continue, leaving nothing behind except footprints that slowly vanish in the wind. Elders say the only way to survive is absolute stillness. Closing your eyes, refusing to follow any sound until the storm passes, because movement is exactly what the Sahrik uses to trap its victims. In the mountains of Georgia, there's a place known as the Valley of Broken Silence, where entire groups of travelers have disappeared without explanation. Locals tell stories of a being called the Khorzan, once a respected village elder who betrayed his own people in exchange for forbidden knowledge. After his death, the spirits of the mountains refused to let him rest, and he returned as something unnatural. The Khorzan appears as a towering figure wrapped in long black robes that move even when there is no wind beneath the hood. There is no face, only darkness with faint glowing silver eyes that seem to watch from impossible distances. The Khorzan does not chase its victims directly. Instead, it appears farther along the path every time a traveler looks away, as if it is always ahead, no matter which direction is chosen. Witnesses report a disturbing effect after seeing it. Multiple times, whispers begin forming inside the mind, telling them to leave the main path and follow hidden trails deeper into the mountains. These whispers grow stronger with time until resisting becomes difficult. Those who follow them are never seen again. Even rescue teams find nothing but abandoned supplies and footprints that suddenly stop on stone paths. Locals believe the Korsan cannot be escaped once noticed, because the moment you acknowledge it, you are already part of its path. Deep in the Amazon rainforest of Peru lies one of the oldest legends, the Yacamara, a massive serpent-like spirit said to live beneath rivers and lakes. Its body is covered in dark emerald scales that reflect light like wet stone, but it moves through water so smoothly that not even ripples appear before it arrives. Entire regions of jungle fall silent before its presence. Birds stop singing, insects disappear, and even the wind seems to vanish. The Yacamara is not driven by hunger, but by judgment. It is believed to punish those who harm sacred nature, such as cutting ancient trees, poisoning rivers, or hunting without respect. It can imitate human voices calling for help from deep within the jungle or directly from the riverbank. Many explorers have followed these cries, believing someone is drowning, only to reach the shore and find footprints ending at the water's edge, as if something stepped into the river and never returned. Tribes say the river itself becomes alive when the Yacamara appears, pulling victims down silently without struggle, no splash, no warning, only disappearance. In the frozen northern seas of Iceland, fishermen still tell stories of the Skelmir, a cursed being born from a chieftain who drowned during a violent winter storm after cursing the sea and the gods. His hatred refused to die and transformed him into something far worse than a ghost. The Skelmir appears as a massive figure made entirely of black ice with glowing blue cracks spreading across its body and antler-like shapes rising from its head. It moves across snow without leaving any tracks, and wherever it goes, thick, unnatural fog follows travelers caught inside, describe hearing heavy footsteps circling them for hours, but never seeing anything. The Skelmir is known for creating illusions of warmth and safety, glowing cabins, firelight, and shelter appearing in the middle of blizzards. But those who enter find only frozen ruins and silence once inside. The illusion collapses, and they realize they were never close to safety at all. The creature does not need to hunt directly. It simply waits until the cold and confusion finish the job,